Life used to be normal for 49-year-old Betty Mohangi until she lost her second child aged 3. At this point, Betty went for an HIV test, and from then on, life was never to be the same again.
How I suspected, I went to a certain hospital, it's called Bluba Hospital, there in Busoga. But what the lady wrote on the medical form said, suspect herpes zoster. But I have ever heard that word, what? Herpes zoster. When I went home, really I knew the boy was HIV positive.
Betty's other 2 children, both girls, are now 24 and 20, yet they were born when she had already contracted the disease, which she had absolutely no idea of. In the early 90s, when she discovered that she was HIV positive, Betty stood by 4 pillars: eating well, praying and fellowshipping with others, accepting that she was HIV positive, and seeking medical help. At the time, there was not so much medical help available for Betty. She only treated whichever infection attacked her as a result of her body's low immune system. She was not receiving treatment for HIV/AIDS. But the 3 other pillars kept her going.
Acceptance worked a lot. I plant my own vitamins. As you see, I have the purple. I have some greens. And I utilize this small fish so much, which is called mukene.
However, she took a decision, a choice that many people in a similar position to Betty also make.
I didn't disclose to my husband because those days they thought someone who discloses first, who tells first that we have HIV, is the one who has brought what? HIV in the family.
Luckily for Betty, her husband was understanding and he told her they needed to find ways of helping each other to live longer. In 2000, her husband passed away, but the ARVs were introduced in 1998. The only problem was that they were too expensive, but the issue of cost did not deter Betty from getting access to the drugs she needed to live longer.
I said, no, let me sell this vehicle because I had the experience in poultry. I started poultry with 300 birds. I went for a loan. I expanded my project to 600 birds, which has yielded right now to 15 birds.
By 2004, Betty started getting free ARVs, which has been taken religiously ever since. 7 years later, life is improving for Betty. And as she found love once again,
but I feel I'm mature enough.
Yeah. Mature enough, you need love. You want it and you can get it.
Yeah. But I never thought of it. That's why I'm here. This is the house he left me.
Betty feels the song behavioral change has been sung enough and failed, and feels treatment should be emphasized in a country where over 1 million people are living with HIV/AIDS.
We have 600,000 people who are eligible for treatment, and only 300 on treatment. By putting all those on treatment, we reduce the amount of circulating virus, what we call the viral load.
And when the viral load goes down, HIV-positive people will not infect the non-infected by 96%, according to research. People's risky sexual behavior should nonetheless be in check, especially in the high-risk population.
If you have been in the army, they think it is part of relaxation, just like fishermen. The prevalence among fishing communities in Uganda is the second highest to commercial sex workers.
A 2011 report on the global HIV/AIDS response released yesterday by WHO, UNICEF and UNAIDS cites that there has been a decline of 22% in AIDS-related deaths in the last 5 years. Each year, Uganda has been losing nearly 100,000 people to HIV/AIDS, but this can change. We are nearly 34 million people, and only 1.2 million are living with HIV/AIDS. If, as individuals, we partake of all available solutions to beat this disease by testing, having careful health workers and drugs, taking drugs when sick, being open about our status, avoiding sexual risky behavior, and being responsible for one another, we will stop new infections, and those living with HIV/AIDS will live longer, healthy lives, and HIV-related deaths will be a thing of the past. HIV/AIDS is not a death sentence. Florence Naliyimba, NTV.